100 miles of open ocean separates the Sahara coast from Spanish soil. Some who leave never arrive. No one is certain how many.
I worked for many years as a chief police inspector in charge of a unit dealing with the African migrants. I think I mentioned in the previous interview with you, it was the most part of my police career was spent on the island of Tenerife in Canary Island. There are a group of 7 islands so close, belong to Spain, but they are so close to the African coast, just 100 miles away from the Sahara Desert. And every year, thousands of irregular migrants arrive to Canary Island in search of a better life. So they travel in small wooden boats. Some of them reach the Canary Island by themselves, while the others are rescued at the sea by the Spanish Maritime Rescue Service and safely brought them ashore. Through satellite surveillance, fishing boat reports, and other intelligence sources, we are often able to detect this boat before they arrive. We save lives, we save a lot of lives. Many are lost in the Atlantic Ocean and everyone dies on board. In 2024, arrived around 40,000 African migrants at the Canary Coast, and we suppose that 40% of them die on the way. So maybe 15,000 or even more dying on the way.
Surviving the deadly ocean crossing is only the beginning. For many migrants, even greater challenges await.
Treatment varies significantly across regions, but irregular migrants commonly face detention, restricted access to health care, exploitation at different levels, discrimination, and limited legal representation.
Human rights protections remain uneven across destination countries. Some migrants shared their experiences.
I traveled to Holland, to Netherlands. So, I went there with tourist visa. So, when I got there, I had to seek for asylum because that was the only way I could stay longer than my visa, because my visa was just 1 month. So, Netherlands, they treated me well, not too bad, not too good. I would say, compared to what I've heard about other countries.
Were you treated by authorities when you got there?
We were treated very bad though. We are not treated nicely.
The Mali government didn't treat you very nicely.
No.
What was the treatment like?
It was very hard shower. I can't even
What are some things that made it hard so that we can understand you better? Was there police brutality on you guys?
Yes, on the road. Yes, we faced some small challenges like that
with the police.
Yeah. They even hold us on the way going there, saying we should pay some money.
For irregular migrants who make it to Spain, Javier says they may count themselves lucky, but he cautions that Spain is not paradise.
The experience from other countries, but lived in Spain, they are treated with respect and with all the conditions, and according to the human rights, of course. After a few days, once they have been identified through fingerprints and photographs, NGOs take over their care and transfer them to reception center across Spain. The Spanish government pay the transport to that centers by plane or by ship or whatever. At that point, police involvement generally ends, except in the case of the minors.
The growing reports of mental illness and deaths among returned Nigerian migrants have raised concerns, with many offering different interpretations of the trend.
Because of our work, there are so many traumatic challenges that some of these returnees are really going through, especially those ones that were brought back from Europe, Italy, Germany. You know, they have a lot of issues, health challenges, mental challenges, and this is very disheartening. Some of them have gone through a lot of dehumanization, you know. Some went through all sorts of exploitation. Some were in detention, in prison for several. So when they come back, they look very, very destroyed and degenerated. You know, some of them have gone out of human beings. You know, and it's very bad. It's very sad. It's a sad one.
So in my opinion, the biggest problem is not the deportation itself, but the difficult circumstance that migrants had to endure before their detention and their return. Of course, deportation is emotionally painful for many of them because they feel that they have failed and are ashamed to return to their families with nothing. So, however, I believe the suffering they experience while trying to survive in Europe often has an even greater psychological impact. In some cases, deportation is like a relief for them. I promise.
Yeah.
Whether tighter border controls and stricter migration policies are reducing irregular migration or simply pushing migrants onto more dangerous routes remains a subject of debate.
When embassies issue visas, your visa has a validity period. You understand? So if you're traveling for tourism, for instance, and an embassy issues you a visa that is maybe 30 days, that has 30 days validity, it is now for you to plan your trip such that you will not stay beyond 30 days. The moment you stay beyond that, you have, you break immigration rules. And if immigration arrests you, after that period, it becomes a crime and you can be deported.
But how difficult is it for you to get these papers to travel?
Well, it all depends on what you're traveling for, and how credible the document or your application is. You understand? If you're traveling for, say, tourism, for instance, the embassy would want you to convince them that you're not running away. You understand? You must have a viable business here in your country, in Nigeria. Okay? You must have some family ties, maybe a wife or kids or your parents. You must prove, those things. You can't just get up, you don't have a job, you don't have a wife, you don't have a family. You say you're going to let me use France for instance. You're going to Paris for tourism. No embassy will give you visa because of course they know that you don't have any reason to return. I have a friend, for some reasons I wouldn't mention his name. He was deported from Spain. As a matter of fact, the two friends that I know, a lady and a guy, it's Spain. They all were deported from Spain. Yes, I have seen.
What was their experience? Did they share their experience with you?
Of course, one thing about deportation stories is that they might not really tell you the truth. That's one thing that has been established. Most times people will come back and tell you lies about the reason they were deported. They wouldn't tell you the real truth.
Some school of thought who thinks that human right, that's the right for people to travel and live wherever they want to live,
okay,
should be prioritized than any immigration law that forbids, that gives you a paper to travel. You don't think these rights should be respected?
No, it's not against your will to come back, because like I said, at the stage of applying for the visa, you are the one who defined or who applied for the number of days or months you want to stay. You understand? And that should be binding on you. If you have any reason to extend your stay. There are processes to that. But when you fail to do that, when you travel and you fail to, do you know I have traveled once and I was sick, I became sick. Ordinarily, I would have contacted, the authority to say because I am sick, I can't travel. But I had to travel even with my sickness. I had to travel because I didn't want to break immigration rules. You understand? So if you applied for a visit visa and you travel and you have refused to come back and you have refused to go through the legal process to extend your stay, there's nothing wrong with immigration deporting you.
But some of us, even though it's a good thing, but some of us are rather saying instead of investing 6 million naira for somebody to come back from Germany and then continue a life that he or she might not even want to in Nigeria, why not use half of that money and regularize the person's stay? Get the person the necessary papers and all that he or she needs, and then the person begin to work. After all, some of them are professionals in their various fields. Some of them are skilled people in terms of artisan and all that. And then they can deliver.
From the European side, from my police experience, I had to tell you that it's very difficult to deport African migrants. Especially because when they arrive at the Spanish coast, when they arrive to the Spanish borders, they don't have any kind of document. They destroy his own document or they hide, and the police can find that document. And even they say that, for example, if they are from Senegal, they say that they are from Mali or Sierra Leone or a place that they know that they are a conflict or a war or whatever, because they think it's more difficult to deport somebody from Niger than somebody from.
Every year, thousands of people fall into the hands of traffickers, lured by false promises of a better life. Behind those promises lies exploitation, abuse, and shattered dreams.
She promised me that we are going to Lagos, so I've never been there before.
And what did she say you were going to do in Lagos?
She said there's a house job she got for me there, so I have to go quickly to go and see the job so that I should start it very fast. I get back because I don't like the work. That's why.
What work was that?
Now, so now you work and the madam go chop the money. She know will give you.
One of the Nigerian migrant women became prostitutes. They had to pay a big debt to Nigerian traffickers, maybe 15,000 euros. You know how much is 50,000 euros?
That's a lot of money.
It's a million of nairas.
Yeah.
1 million of naira is 1.5 thousand. So 50 million of naira, something like that.
Yeah.
They had to pay at the mafia. 40 million, something like that,
To bring them.
to pay the debt that they have with the traffickers.
Yeah.
Returning home is one journey, starting over is another. So, how is Nigeria's reintegration program helping returnees rebuild their lives?
From my assessment, the return programs are being supported by the international community. Yes, the economic support, they are trying to give them startup. But the psychological aspect, the social aspect is not enough. It is not enough. And those ones that are coming back under the government support are not getting the adequate supports. So I think there is need for a holistic approach which has to do with psychological, the social and the economic support. These three, they are three in one that will give the necessary support to people who return under this condition. So for people to rebuild their lives, for those that have returned, there is need for government to really take these things serious and ensure that people who return are provided with the necessary and adequate psychological support, social and economic support. These things can happen. It is not a magic. It can happen. It's just to put system in place, prioritize some of these things and enshrine it into the system, and let it work. Let it be enshrined into the government system that are already existing. And these things will start taking place. We have a coordinating agency in Nigeria that coordinates the issue of return programs in Nigeria, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants. Give them the absolute power. Let it not be politicized. Let them do their work. Make them to do their work. Give them budget. Let them budget for return programs. Let them use their office. Since the law have provided them, the power, to address the issue of return in Nigeria, and they coordinate. They have agencies that are working under government that handles issues of different cases. We have the Ministry of Health, we have the National Directorate of Employment, we have SMIDAN, we have ITF, we have other agencies, that they can be referred to, and their life will start coming back again. So these are the things that I feel that we can address. These are the gaps, and these are areas where we can strengthen, and things will start functioning properly under return program.